This is one of the more beautiful mornings we've had in a long time, and it's gonna get up to about 46. It is so weird, like it's beautiful, but it's raining. And while we're almost gonna get to 50 today in January, tomorrow it's gonna be highs in the 20s, and then we're actually getting ready for some Arctic weather. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at the rainbow. It's just a magical morning on the farm. Oh my gosh, it goes all the way across. I don't know if I can catch all that. See, oh, it goes all the way over. It's just really odd weather, and I'm guessing it's because of what's coming in. So today we'll be doing a lot of running around and trying to start prepping things. I just hate that we're getting precipitation, like some of this really nasty rain, and we've been getting a lot of rain and rain and rain, mud and mud and mud, and then we hit these Arctic temperatures, and it's rough. That is so stinking beautiful. Like, I just can't get over how it just, the hue, like this is, it's 8 o'clock in the morning here, and just the rainbow in the background, the hues that are up in the sky right now. Look at it, looks heavenly behind me. Like, it looks heavenly. Okay, I promise guys, I'm gonna stop letting like the ambiance of this morning sunrise distract me. But today we'll be doing a lot of getting things ready for this Arctic blast, which honestly, I see a lot of people go crazy every time that we get really cold snaps, because there's just always a lot of newbies in this community that are like, what do I do? What do I do for my babies? They're gonna be outdoors, and like, trust me, Mother Nature has prepared them to deal with events like this just through selective breeding. If they have been selectively bred, if they're backyard bred, then I digress. Just today will be a lot of making sure that we've got all our hay down, all of the waters are cleaned and ready with fresh water, and that there are adequate wind breaks for everybody, and deep bedding. That's literally all we do. Because Mother Nature did a really good job designing them. Us, when we put our hands in anything, just kind of goes awry when it comes to quality, for the most part. No, I can't even make this up. It's still outside now. We're just outside 10 minutes ago with a beautiful sunrise and rainbows, and this is what it's doing now. I really hate Midwest winters. They never know what to do. They never know how to make up their mind. It's me, Rex. It's me, buddy. Did I scare you? Did I scare you? You're on high alert. I think we had some coyote action last night, huh? You on high alert there, bud? Yeah. High alert, Rex. So Rex is being a good boy, and he's out here, and I'm hoping to get it before they get up. But Rex is just sleeping there with his girls, and they're sleeping with him. Good boy, good boy. The girls are actually huddled with him. That's actually the first time I've seen them do that, where they're just kind of, oh, easy, easy, Mossy. They're just snuggled up against him. Oh my God, I can't. They're just all snuggled up against him. I hope Mossy moves so I can show you guys. He's being a good boy. He's got them all snuggled in against him. We actually had to make some changes when it comes to our boys and which pens they're in and if they work together or not. We'll get into that here in a minute. It's a little windy out here, so I'm sorry. And we're back after our frigid cold. I stopped milking Chicken Hawk for a little bit just to let her babies have as much calories as they wanted from her. So we're milking today. and which means they're separated. We have to get bottles, but it's a good thing because, oh, it's gonna stand up and stretch. Rex is sitting there all cuddled in with his girls. He knows I'm talking about him. So Rex has been cuddled in with his girls. And some of you might already say, well, where's Dexter? Dexter, I caught for a third time starting a game of tag with some of my pregnant girls, which they're all basically pregnant in there. And I just couldn't have it, guys. And I was almost to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna rehome him. But Mark reminds me, I often get a little crazy and I jump the gun and I make brash decisions when I'm emotional, and I was emotional. So we've actually moved Dexter, who is just chilling out down here. I see him come up and around. He's chilling with our boy buck. So you can see him right back here. He's coming around. But we've got him in with our grouchy boys, because our grouchy boys, they don't play tag like the girls will play tag. He comes up to them and they'll round on him and say, what's your problem? The only time he even gets a little out of hand with them is if they're wrestling, because he gets excited because they're all fighting, or around feeding time. Feeding time in the afternoon, like right at dusk, I do take Dexter and I reunite him with his brother, and I let them have the evenings together to play and get all that puppy energy out, and to kind of just do a little bit of the predator training, how we stalk and fight and take things down with his brother Rex there. So during the days, he's in here with his boys, and he's a lot calmer in there, mostly because the boys don't mess with him, but he's getting the best of both worlds. He's getting goats that are going to teach him manners, because they're not going to run like my does will. And he gets to be back with his brother Rex in the evening time to get a lot of that energy, that puppy energy out. And Rex has been doing really, really good. They only have their issues pretty much in the morning. Rex has his issues in the morning, and Dexter will have his issues in the afternoon, mostly because Rex gets fed and then he's excited to see the girls to come out. So you can tell it's an excitement, like being rejoined with them, because I'm not letting these guys have access to the girls at night. The girls have their indoor run that I close off, especially because it's been so cold. You guys can tell Indiana's being Indiana in January, and it's very cold and it's been in negatives. But tomorrow, I think we're gonna get to the 40s. Might even get to the 50s before the end of the week, and then we're going to drop right back down to being kind of cold. So that's where we're at with our boys. I know it's been kind of crazy. This is what's working best for us, because when he starts to play tag with the girls, Rex is a puppy too. Rex is going to play with him. Now it'll be different if Rex were a mature dog. He would probably roll him and check him and say, you're not going to chase the girls. But because neither one of them can resist a really good game, this is what's best for them in their training right now. And I'm sharing this because not long ago, I was like, I'm going to keep them in here and it's going to be just fine. We're watching for litter mate syndrome. And I just kind of, it's important when you have litter mates that they both get individual training too. And I had done some of that. Some of them had been left off the field while the other one was out, and vice versa. But they're doing really good. You can tell they weren't very confident. These little babies are just so upset at me right now. I can hear them. But they weren't very confident. They barked and 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 barked. Like at nothing. But you guys can see, like, he was snoozing with his girls. I actually woke him up from a nap back in the buck house. And he's gone right back. He's actually behind this little barrel right here. He's gone right back to laying down and just chilling out. And Rex will too when I go away. Rex is more trying to figure out what I'm doing and if it involves food. But it's important to kind of change your approach and to be able to do that. So I'm very fortunate in the way that I knew bringing on two that there could be challenges with that. Litter mate syndrome, that they might become too strongly bonded to one another and not care about the goats. And I did start seeing just a tinge of that. They're too bonded to one another and not their goats, because they're puppies and they came from the same place. But it's important to be able to have that, the ability to separate. And I'm blessed. I already have a buck pen. I have a doe pen. I have lots of runs. I have lots of different places that I could put them for their training. If you don't have that starting out with livestock guarding dogs, just do one. Don't do two. Two's been a lot. And the last week or two have been lots of tears, because I really thought I was going to have to rehome Dexter, because Dexter's the one who starts the games. I really thought I was gonna have to rehome him, and Mark talked me down like he always does. Thank God for the spouses that are balancing and not the ones that kind of light the fire under even harder. Mark always takes that counterbalance when I'm feeling emotional. He'll be he's rock solid all the time, just steady. You can't, he's unwavering. So he talked me out of it and said, let's give him a chance. Let's give him a chance. Don't get emotional. I know that it's difficult right now, but don't get emotional, and we'll work through it. And thankfully, we're working through it. We're working through it. What? Okay, coming to you straight out of the shower because I had to go in and relax after finding this in my field. I actually was out this morning doing chores, and I noticed that Tulip was aborting her kid for this spring. So I wanted to just share this because I think it's important to be transparent and honest. I have not yet ultrasounded her, so I don't have a kid count on her. I still might pull her aside to ultrasound her this weekend because she was on my list. I cannot remember when I bred her. I want to say I probably bred her in November because that's when I did most of my girls. So which means I've either got her in March, or if I did it late November, I could even have her as an April date. So because today is the very last day of January, that means we had February, March. So maybe she's 3 to 2.5 months along. So this is what a 3 month to 2.5 along fetus looks like. Now that's saying if this fetus was up until probably about 24 hours ago, healthy and alive and kicking in the womb, unless it's been dead longer than that. But it doesn't smell bad. And I know that's kind of gross, like smelling a goat fetus, but literally the scent is what's going to tell me if they've been deceased for a while and have actually been rotting inside of Tulip, which also helps me to figure out what are my next steps for Tulip if I need to be giving her a round of antibiotics, which I probably still will do. But if this fetus stunk or had any type of foul smell or looked bad, or if like the flesh was falling off of it, it would be immediate. We would be pulling penicillin today, and we would be giving it to her right away because even though it's not always promised, if kids decompose inside of their mother, there's a good chance that decomposition creates lots of bad bacteria. There's lots of things that are shared from the rotting fetus into the mother, which can cause her to be very, very ill or sick. And I've noticed today, like, she's just loving on her baby from last year, which just has me a little heartbroken. I was really excited about her. So I don't know. I'm going to give her about a month to recover just to see what's going on. And I still might breed her for June to July kids. July kids tend to not grow that well. I don't mind the flies and everything else. I can actually control that really well in my barn. Never had problems with that. And I've kidded all times of year. But they do tend to have a little bit more exposure to like coccidiosis or bacteria that can cause joint ill if you're not right on top of them when they're born. But, you know, other than that, I really would like to have her appraised and have her actually get into a show ring this year. But if that's not in the cards, then it's not in the cards. And to top the cherry off, I have juniors down there that are screaming. They want the affections of the gentleman in the pen next to them. But the bad thing is that one of them was supposed to already be bred. And I don't think I'm going to breed her again. This just means she's going to show this year as like a dry yearling. And we'll breed her for maybe late fall kids or even January kids to try to push her along, get her milking records in, and make sure she's nice and healthy and can be on the right track. And in my own schedule and in my own plans, which if you've ever worked with livestock, you just know, the odds of them working inside of your own plans are slim to none. When you even work with anything living, the odds of them working with you cohesively are slim to none because they're also a living being and we don't have control over that living being's life or body or whatever they're doing. So we just have to try to work with them and partner up. Sometimes it just doesn't work into my plans. And everything today is not working within my plans. I had a doe abort and I have a yearling who is in a screaming heat, but we'll roll with it and we'll work it out because in all things homesteading, it is all fixable. You can work all things out. It just sometimes doesn't go how you wanted them to.